Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to completely deconstruct something that affects, well, millions of us, yet it operates entirely in the background. We are diving deep into the invisible mechanics of financial dependence. We're going to explore exactly how smart, highly capable people end up trapped in lives they don't actually want. But more importantly, we're laying out the exact roadmap to break out. So get ready, because this is probably going to shift how you view your paycheck forever. Let's start by talking about a guy named Abhishek. If you looked at Abhishek from the outside, the guy had absolutely made it. I mean, he had a genuinely great salary, a really nice apartment, a brand new car parked outside, and a super impressive job title. But on the inside, every single Sunday evening, right around 6 p.m., this dark heaviness would just settle over him. You know the feeling, the Sunday dread. Because Monday meant the office, and the office meant another whole week of doing work he just didn't care about, all to maintain a lifestyle that wasn't even making him happy. He wasn't broke, not at all. He was trapped. So I have to ask, does any part of that feel familiar to you? Because here is the big secret about financial success. The ultimate goal isn't actually just to earn a high income. The real goal is freedom. And as we're going to see today, those two things are incredibly different. You can earn a massive amount of money and have literally zero freedom. Part 1, the illusion of safety. To really understand this trap that so many of us fall into, think about a wild wolf, the strongest, most capable hunter in the entire forest. He earned his confidence through years of really difficult hunts and hard-won survival. But then, imagine a farmer starts leaving easy food out for him every single night. The wolf naturally thinks, well, why hunt when the food just comes to me? Why exhaust myself when comfort is right here? So he stops chasing. He stops pushing himself. And slowly, day by day, he loses his muscle, his sharp instincts, and his confidence. Until one day, he's easily defeated by a challenger. His capabilities required constant use, and without that struggle, they just disappeared. And honestly, that perfectly captures the core danger of our modern work life. Comfort is not safety, it is atrophy. The modern salary trap works exactly like that farmer's easy food. It arrives every single month, totally regular and predictable, and with every single payment, that sharp instinct you have to build something, to hunt, to push yourself into difficult territory, it gets just a little bit quieter. It quietly dulls our capability. Part 2, the 5 layers of the trap. Let's lift the veil on how entirely logical adult decisions somehow turn into chains. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is seeing how sneaky it all is. Layer 1 is confusing income with wealth. A high salary looks like wealth, but if it's all committed to fixed costs, that money is just flowing through you, not to you. Layer 2 is fragmentation. These are the small, harmless treats, the extra food deliveries, the gym memberships you never use. Individually, they're nothing, right? But together, they're dozens of tiny leaks draining your bucket. Layer 3 is lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, you upgrade your life. It feels like progress, but it's actually a ratchet that only tightens one way. Layer 4, the golden handcuffs. That new car and the mortgage feel like fantastic assets, but practically speaking, they're rigid obligations binding you to your job. You can't quit because those things demand to be fed every single month. And finally, layer 5, the gap. Your high earning power doesn't actually matter. Your gap is the ultimate true measure of your freedom. Part 3, the turning point. So one afternoon, sitting right there at his desk, the reality of those 5 layers just kind of hit Abhishek all at once. He realized the most crucial metric wasn't his salary at all. It was his gap. The difference between what he earned and what he spent. Think about it. You can have a massive salary, but if your gap is tiny, you have incredibly low freedom. You are totally dependent on that next paycheck. On the flip side, someone with a modest salary but a very large gap, they have the room to breathe. They can take risks, and most importantly, they can walk away. That very night, Abhishek goes home and does something he had never done before. He mapped out exactly where every single rupee went, every fixed expense, every subscription, every single golden handcuff. And when he calculated his gap, he was staring at a zero, literally nothing. Despite earning more than anyone he grew up with, he had absolutely no real freedom. This was rock bottom for him, but, it was also the exact moment he decided he was going to break the trap. Part 4, the 3-step escape. Okay, let's dive into this. We've diagnosed the disease, right? So here is the concrete 3-step blueprint Abhishek used to totally change his trajectory. Step 1, decrease comfort deliberately. Step 2, increase income through discomfort. And step 3, build assets. Notice how comfort and discomfort play a massive role here? Let's break these down. Step 1 is purposefully decreasing comfort. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about becoming a miserable ascetic living in a cave somewhere. It's about being highly intentional. Abhishek widened his gap by ruthless cutting, getting rid of unused subscriptions and expensive habits. He replaced mindless food delivery with cooking at home. But it wasn't just financial. He fought mental atrophy by trading passive scrolling on his phone for challenging books. And he started actively choosing the difficult projects at work. He was fighting the comfortable little habits that keep the cage door closed. And that leads right into step 2, because honestly, discomfort is where capability actually lives. Simply cutting your expenses has a hard ceiling, right? I mean, you can only cut so much before your life just gets, well, small. Real escape requires going out and acquiring rare, difficult skills that the market actually values. Abhishek deliberately put himself in uncomfortable rooms, took on scary projects, and steadily increased his own value through sheer intentional discomfort. Then we reach the final step, building assets. So you've widened your gap, you've built these great new skills. Now you have to transition from trading time for money, which is just your standard salary, to building things that work when you don't. Whether it's starting a side business, making smart investments, or creating intellectual property, the ultimate goal here is to build independent income streams, things that simply do not rely on you clocking in every morning.
Part 5. The reality of freedom.
Over time, those independent assets Abhishek built, they grew large enough that he could finally quit his job without losing his lifestyle. The cage door was officially wide open. But here's the massive surprise he discovered. True freedom didn't just feel like a sigh of relief. True freedom feels like responsibility. It's the heavy, totally empowering realization of a life that is entirely yours to direct. There's no boss to blame anymore, no corporate structure to hide inside, just you, your choices, and the gap you fought so hard for. It is the absolute thrill of getting your life back. At the end of the day, this whole explainer boils down to a single core truth. Your capabilities require constant use. Growth demands resistance. Comfort is really just slow atrophy dressed up nicely as security. Abhishek found that out. He put in the hard work and he broke the trap. The wolf didn't, and he lost everything. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this one lingering thought. The trap is incredibly real, but the way out is clear as day. Which one are you going to be?